Hi, it's Chris, and today we are going to be doing some sautéed julienne onions. I'm going to take this with a little bit of my canola oils. Traditionally, you start with a hot pan. You get it nice and warm. You put some oil. You'll know when the oil's ready because you can typically see it shimmering. And then here we have the customary sizzle. The customary sizzle is the sound of sauté. Now with onions, because we're going to be caramelizing these, caramelization takes a little bit more time than our traditional sauté. If we were sautéing, that would be something that would be quick and might take 3 to 5 minutes. But caramelization takes an extended period of time. Caramelization, we're going to be drawing out the natural sugars within the onion. And because Spanish onions actually don't have a great deal of natural sugars, the standard Spanish onion, you want to be a little bit more careful and have the heat a little bit lower so that it doesn't burn too quickly. You know, a good chef will always be able to tell by his nose or her nose how the pan is and how the food smells as to whether it's cooking too much. I can already kind of sense that perhaps the onions are starting to brown or perhaps browning a little bit too much. So we're gonna see it's starting to brown already. So now when caramelizing, we're looking for a nice, beautiful golden color to our onions, a nice, even golden color to our onions. Now, maybe if you're in a hurry, there are some ways to expedite this process. You might use a little bit of regular sugar, maybe some brown sugar. But the important thing to realize here is that that sugar is not going to change. It'll bring more color to the overall product, but the onion still needs to cook. That's the important part. The onion still needs to cook. You can salt it and pepper it at this point, but maybe if you're making it and turning it into a soup or something later on, you might want to hold off from seasoning your onions at this point in time. Say you're going to be turning it into French onion soup, you might want to hold off because you're going to season the soup at the end stage, and so you don't want to season it right now. Yeah, as you can see, these onions brown pretty quickly, so we have to be a little bit more careful. One other technique you could use to help the process along is to put some water in the pan to help move along the cooking of the onions to soften them, and then as the water evaporates, the onions will cook, and then it'll continue to caramelize. As you can see, there's lots of little tips and tricks that a chef or a cook can use to make things move along in the cooking process, to add flavor, to create more color as things cook in their pans. So we're just going to leave it here. I'm going to come back to it, periodically, just to check on it, to check the coloring on it. If I wanted to, I suppose I could stop it right now. I've already gotten some softness in the onion. I could take it out, cool it down, freeze it like this, and then when I go to use it again, it'll be much more easier and palatable than freezing it from its raw state. And like I say, from its raw state, it'll be much more watery. This way I'm already cooking out a lot of that moisture, and it'll be a much more desirable product to use instead of freezing it from its raw state. Also, if you are just keeping it in the refrigerator, it will last longer as a cooked product if you have it well sealed, and then perhaps as a fresh item. But we're going to let that cook and caramelize.